All right, here we go. I'm doing this for you guys because I personally already have a winner. I personally own both, technically. I mean, I might return the XM5s. Anyway, let's not get ahead of ourselves. You're watching this video because you're in between these two models. You want to know if you should get the AirPods Pro's USB-C or the Sony WX1000XM5s. Is it WF? Yeah, WF. I personally don't think this is a tough comparison. There's a clear winner here, but for you, you might be on the fence. And that's why you're watching this video, because I don't do any bullshit. Nobody paid me to say any of these. This is my real world. These are my real world experiences of these buds. And you'll know if you should get one or the other at the end of this video. Now, these are the top buds you can get in 2023 from Apple and from Sony. So let's see how they match up and which one's worth your money. Let's start with the case. Here we have the Sonys and here are the AirPods Pro's USB-C ones. And when it comes to the case, the size of the case isn't too bad. They're relatively similar in case size. They both fit in the palm of my hand, which is my palm test. And I'm a pretty active person, so I want buds that fit in my running shorts and don't weigh me down. Neither of these cases are gonna suffer from that problem. Now, the cases both have USB-C charging. There's a USB-C right there, and then this one's USB-C as well. And they both have wireless charging as well. But where the cases really differ is gonna come down to the texture. The AirPods Pros have a very glossy case. You're familiar with it. I actually have my old AirPods Pros here that I've had since day one when they came out. You can't tell because of the light, but these are yellow. They look gross. These are pearly white for now. The Sony case did something different. The Sony case gave you a nice matte finish and texture, which seems like it'll last longer. Maybe not the white one, the black one maybe, but it'll hold less scuffs. It'll just look better over time. So when it comes to the cases, I'm going to give the W to Sony. Sony has a better case. Now, that being said, the AirPod case comes with a little speaker right here and a lanyard hole. So if you like that, because you can do the Find My feature, then this case has more functionality. But aesthetically, this case is better. I'm just being honest. And we're starting off with the physical attributes. Now let's get to the buds. Now both of these have buds, obviously, but the Apple one has a stem. And that stem is great because that stem gives you the ability to manipulate the bud. Whether it's you sticking it in your ear or adjusting it or pulling it out, or even the touch controls, it's regulated to that stem. As opposed to the Sony one where it's just that big touch surface right there. And that touch surface, when you're adjusting the headphones in your ear, might accidentally activate. Both have touch controls, so that's even. The Sony ones are incredibly glossy, like stupid amount of glossy, where it makes them a little slippery and hard to pull out of the case. The AirPods, even though they're glossy, don't suffer from that. Both buds sound amazing. Both buds have great ANC, permitting that you have a good tip. Now, these aren't the standard Sony tips. I have a video about how I replace these tips and fix the XM5s. You can watch it somewhere around here. And then the Apple tip is obviously just regular Apple tip. They both have a nice mesh in there to protect you from getting earwax in there. So when it comes to the bud, the XM5 is a little bit more discreet because you don't have that stem sticking out your ear, but I'm going to give it a tie as long as you have that updated earpiece. If you have the updated earpiece, it's a tie. It's a tie for the bud design. Fit and comfort is extremely subjective, but either of these will hold up in my ear for a nice run or a workout. Not with the foam tips though. This one with the foam tips would legit fall out of my ear. I couldn't do a push-up without these falling out of my ears or bench or run or anything. So no foam tips. Let's talk about sound quality. Now, Sony has an EQ, which means that on the Sony buds, you can tweak the sound to your liking. Apple doesn't give you that. Sony sounds better, like a million times better. After you use a Sony bud, the AirPods sound kind of boring. So sound quality goes to Sony. Hands down, sound quality is on Sony is way better. When it comes to noise canceling, that's subjective again. I'm gonna give them both the win for noise canceling. There's not one that's better than the other. As long as you have a good seal, almost all noise canceling is amazing. Where the difference really comes into between these buds is going to be the transparency mode. And this is what I've experienced. The transparency mode on the AirPod is superior. Apple has a monopoly on organic sounding transparency mode in terms of phone calls sounding great. In terms of in-person conversation sounding natural. It sounds like nothing's in your ear, which is awesome. Sony kind of sounds robotic when you're having a conversation with somebody in the room with you. I don't like that. It's okay, it works, but it's not great. When it comes to adaptability, both of these were able to handle loud noises. I'm here in New York City. The subway, the sirens, slamming doors, people yelling, they both handle these sounds very well. But if I had to give a winner to transparency mode, it's gonna be the AirPod for transparency mode. Sony's not too far behind though. Sound quality, if I have to give a winner, it's Sony. ANC, if I have to give a winner, it's gonna be both of them. They both get the W. Are you keeping track? I'm not keeping track. They both support multi-point connectivity, but because Apple does it through your iCloud account, you can do multiple devices. This is only 2. This one's up to as many Apple devices as you have. So kind of cheating, but multi-point, technically Apple wins. So yeah, and another thing that's important to me is the IP rating. The IP rating on the Sonys is at IPX4, which is pretty abysmal, especially for a $300 product, not the best IP rating. And then on the AirPod's gonna be 5.7, I think. The AirPod's IPX5.4, which is higher resistance for water and dust. So overall, 2 amazing products. And the decision comes down to one thing. If you're in the Apple ecosystem and you want to connect to all your devices at once, you have multiple devices, more than 2, then the AirPod's great for you. The AirPod's great. Connectivity, easy. If you care about sound quality and you only want to connect to 2 devices, then get the Sony, because the Sony provides such amazing sound. Rich bass, nice mids, great vocals. This soundstage, the Sony's got that. So these are my final impressions after testing these a whole bunch. I mean, you can check my channel for other reviews if you're considering another competitor like Bose. That's probably one of my most popular videos, or unpopular opinions. But yeah, watch more videos. Let's get the watch times up. Almost at 1,000 subscribers, which is amazing. So like, comment, subscribe. Stay tuned for my roundup video where I review all the best headphones of 2023. And remember, if I win, you win.